The Princess and the Hidden Garden. Once upon a time, in a kingdom surrounded by sparkling rivers and tall emerald hills, there lived a princess named Elara. She had golden brown hair that shimmered like sunlight and eyes full of curiosity. Unlike most princesses, Elara wasn't interested in fancy gowns or royal balls. What she loved most was nature: flowers, birds, butterflies, and the sound of the wind singing through the trees. The royal palace was enormous, made of white marble and silver towers, but it often felt lonely. Elara's parents, a busy king and queen, spent their days dealing with royal duties, formal meetings, and visiting nobles. Elara, despite being loved, had no one to truly share her heart with. So every morning, she wandered into the palace gardens, helping the gardeners pull weeds, planting seeds, and talking to the flowers as if they were her friends. One day, while watering a row of tulips, she heard something strange, a faint humming like a song carried on the wind. It was coming from somewhere beyond the tall stone wall, the one covered with ivy and untouched by anyone but birds. Elara's eyes widened. "There's something beyond that wall," she whispered. The chief gardener chuckled softly. "That wall has been there since the very beginning of the kingdom, princess. No door, no gate, no entrance." But Elara was not convinced. She felt it deep inside, a soft pull like the garden was calling her. That night she couldn't sleep. The moonlight spilled across her bed, and the memory of that strange song echoed in her ears. "What if something magical is hidden there?" she whispered to herself. She decided she had to find out. The next day, Elara returned to the garden, but this time she brought a lantern, a small shovel, and her brave heart. She ran her fingers along the vine-covered wall, searching for clues. At first she found nothing, just cold stone and thick leaves. But then something clicked. Her fingers brushed against a small engraving shaped like a flower. She pushed gently, and the stone beneath it shifted with a soft rumble. The wall moved. A secret door slid open. Elara gasped, stepping back as sunlight poured into a dark space behind the wall, a hidden passage, full of dust and old roots. Her heart raced with excitement. Grabbing her lantern, she stepped inside. The door closed behind her with a soft thud. For a moment, everything was silent. Then she saw it. At the end of the tunnel, light was pouring through a small wooden archway covered in moss. And when she stepped through, she found herself inside the most beautiful garden she had ever seen. It was unlike the palace gardens, wild, untouched, and glowing with magic. Flowers with glowing petals, butterflies with crystal wings, trees with silver bark, and a soft golden mist floating in the air. Colorful birds flew between the branches, singing songs Elara had never heard before. The air smelled like honey and fresh rain. Elara took a deep breath. "I found it," she whispered. "The hidden garden." She walked deeper, amazed by every step. Flowers seemed to lean toward her, welcoming her. Birds circled above her head, not afraid at all. She found a small pool, its water as clear as glass. When she knelt to touch it, it shimmered like liquid moonlight. "It's all alive," she said. "And it knows I'm here." Then she heard it again. The humming. The same song from yesterday. Soft, gentle, comforting. It was coming from a tree in the center of the garden. It was enormous, its branches full of glowing blossoms, shifting colors like the sunset. And beneath it sat something carved from stone. Bench, and a book. Elara approached slowly. The book was open. Its pages looked like they were made of petals. Words were written in ink that shimmered like stars. "Welcome, princess. This garden belongs to the one who listens to the earth." Elara blinked, stunned. The garden was waiting for her. All this time. As she touched the book, light rippled through the air. The blossoms above her glowed brighter, and then a voice spoke. Gentle, kind. "Hello, Elara." Elara spun around, but no one was there. "Who's talking?" she asked, not frightened, but filled with wonder. "I am the heart of this garden," the voice said. "You heard my song. Came. You are the first in many years." Elara swallowed, eyes wide. Why me? Because you care. You tend to the smallest flower. You see life where others see decoration. Elara smiled softly. That's true. I love plants. They feel alive to me. They are alive, the voice replied. And they have been waiting for a friend. Elara spent hours exploring, listening, learning. The garden spoke in wind, in petals, in glowing lights. It told her stories of the first princess who created it, one who believed nature was sacred. When the sun began to set, Elara realized she had to leave. Can I come back? She asked. The garden's voice replied. Only one who truly loves the earth may enter. So yes, the garden is yours now. Elara promised she would return. Every day. And she did. Every morning and every evening, she slipped through the hidden door to tend flowers, talked to the birds, and read from the magical book. The garden grew brighter. Plants grew happier. Nature thrived in her presence. And the lonely princess. She was lonely no more. But soon something changed. The king and queen noticed the palace gardens were more alive than ever. Flowers grew brighter. Fruit sweeter. Birds sang like never before. It was Elara's doing. One evening, the queen found her daughter planting seeds with her bare hands, dirt on her face and a bright smile. Elara, the queen asked gently, why do you love this so much? Elara simply said, because nature is magic. And when we care for it, it cares for us. The queen didn't fully understand, but she saw the joy in her daughter's eyes. That night she told the king, maybe the world doesn't need only rulers. Maybe it needs protectors. Years passed. Elara grew older, but never stopped tending the secret garden. She brought seeds from all over the kingdom. She healed plants that were dying. She listened to the garden's heart and helped it grow stronger. Even the animals of the kingdom sensed her kindness. Birds built nests in her windows. Deer approached her without fear. Flowers bloomed in places she walked, just from her touch. When the time came for Elara to become queen, the people already loved her. Not because she wore a crown, not because she lived in a castle, but because she protected life. Elara became known as the Queen of the Living Garden. And the secret garden. It never stayed secret forever. Once the kingdom learned to care for nature, the magic spread everywhere. Villages bloomed. Towns grew gardens instead of walls. Animals returned. Rivers sparkled again. The whole kingdom became alive. And so, a princess who once felt alone, found friendship in petals and leaves, and changed the world, simply by listening to a garden.